Okay, good luck, Ramesh.
Sir,
Same
good
to you,
luck, sir.
sir. Thank you.
Good luck. Mehta says 50-50.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, Very good evening to all of you, all the listeners and those who are attending right now. I am Ramessh Mishra. I am from NMIMS and I will be the host for today's session. NMIMS, majority of you are aware, NMIMS is a top leading university in India, providing a lot of courses at G level, at PG level, even at the level. Currently, NMIMS is present in 8 cities in India, that is Mumbai, Navi Mumbai, Shirpur, Indore, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and Chandigarh will be the eighth campus which is going to be live from academic year. We are currently offering majority of the programs in management, technology management, health sciences, agriculture, design. You just name them. I guess we are present in each and every domain. Today we are here to discuss a very specific topic and particularly related to engineers. Today's topic, as when we talk about what are the skill sets which are necessary or we need to acquire for being in the country or in the world. And even myself, even I'm an engineer, pass out back almost 1.5 decade. So whatever skill set I had at that point of time, and I'm sure a lot of changes have happened in the academic area right now. So with this, we have none other than one of the best speaker I can say in India, Dr. Akshay Malhotra. Akshay Malhotra, he's a campus director of NMIMS Shirpur campus. He himself is a he's an engineer. He's graduated in electronics and telecommunication. Later on, he went on to become to pursue his masters and PhD from Pennsylvania State University, USA. His area of research happens to be remote sensing and space physics. He has very keen interest in finance, and thus that's the reason he has completed all his three CFA levels. So I guess you can see the variations what he has done to keep himself with the pace of the world's requirement. So with this, I would like to welcome Dr. Akshay Malhotra. Uh, Hello, sir.
Hello, yeah. A very good
How are
evening.
you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. And
Great,
very
great,
good
great.
evening to all our listeners. Thanks for the rather long, detailed description. It made me sound rather old. But one thing I would like to say is that when you listen to such a description of yourself, you can't help but go back. So from BTech in engineering to PhD in electrical engineering, remote sensing, space physics, CFA, and now director of NMIMS Shirpur campus, where I'm actually overseeing engineering, pharma, agriculture, health sciences, aviation, textile. So you can't, and plus the audience. So I can't help but wonder how did it all start. So just wanted to share with my listeners. I think most of them are class 12 students. I can't help but think that it started around 20 years ago when I visited an auditorium in a college in Pune along with my dad, waiting on his flashing screen कि मेरा PCM score कब आएगा and in which college am I going to get admission. So this is a very important career choice. This is a very important decision you guys are facing right now, and it's always been tough. My time also it was tough, but you guys, I mean, hats off to you. In all that you have faced in the world in the last 1 year, still keeping your eye on the ball, still completing your academics, all the uncertainty, and here you are attending this webinar. I have a lot of respect for all the students who are in standard 12 right now. So yes, I think we can start.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, as we are here to discuss about first of all, like 21st century. When we say about century, 21st century, of course, there will be certain things which has happened in 20th century, and now we are living in a 21st century, and I'm sure, like, by the time, of course, if we are moving to the next century, also 22nd century. So, what makes 21st century as one of the most special century, or something like, um, uh, what do you think, like, like how it is going to be a different, and everybody talks about, say, from Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam to Atal Bihari Vajpayee, or say anybody, they are talking about 21st century, 2020. How do you think, like, why it is so special, and why we should be discussing about 21st century first?
Okay, so yeah, I think that's very interesting. We are starting with the topic actually for today's webinar. Why do you need a special, a different skill set for 21st century engineers? What else do you need? What extra do you need? Which is really, really essential. So I would say let's start with taking a look at the world around us. Disruption has become the norm. That would be my point number one. In fact, I would go as far as to say, if you can predict it, it's not the future. Because you can be sure that there's going to be something different in store, something that's totally going to be a game changer. And nobody, I mean, can imagine, I mean, better than our 12th standard students to imagine how the world is getting affected by disruption today. I mean, 2 years ago, had we ever imagined that we'll be attending this kind of webinar for giving people information about admissions and what to do with your career? No, you would be attending admission rounds every year. So disruption is going to be the norm. It is not going to be an exception. Second big thing, which I think a change that's already happening, guys, forget about job security. There was a time when our parents, our parents' generation, they used to take great pride in worked in the same organization for 30 years, 40 years, started from the same organization, climbed up the ranks, and retired at a certain age. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. You guys are entering a very, very uncertain world. Job security goes out of the window. In fact, in my experience, not many students in the past few years have started taking to GATE exams. Very nice, because they want entry into PSUs. And why do they actually want entry into PSUs? The reason is just one: job security. Yesterday there was information about Coal India laying off 5% of its workforce every year now. So even when it comes to PSUs, guys, forget job security. Job securities is out of the window. In fact, I would be very surprised if for you guys the retirement age is going to be 60 or even 55 years. Probably you guys are going to retire much earlier. Third big change that we see that's been accelerated due to COVID is the remote economy, the jobs going remote. That is something that really excites me. So you guys very well might be sitting in a nice beach in Goa, right? Or in the north hills in the northeast, and be working for an Australian or American firm. That's what the future is going to be like. That's not the future, that's what the present is. And that's really going to be a game changer. We can discuss it more, because from the world of specialization, we are now going to enter the world of hyper specialization. The last point, which I would like to make, is the gig economy. So I just want you to imagine with me. All of you have bought products from Amazon, Flipkart, etc., etc. Now imagine a job portal, just like Amazon, where you guys, based on your skill set, you write, hey, so I'm Akshay Malhotra, these are my qualifications and these are my projects. Plus, just like in Amazon, you see product reviews. So whatever projects I have worked on, people are giving reviews. Okay, he completed this project for me, he did a nice job, hey, he did a terrible job, he could not deliver on time. So just like a product, there are reviews for the work you have done. That is gig economy. That future is very, very much here, right? And it's going to become more prevalent. So each one of you are entering a era of great uncertainty. But one thing I don't want to scare you guys with this uncertainty, provided you are, trained properly, are given the right opportunity. This is actually opening a world of opportunities for you guys. I would be very, very excited by this coming world that hey, I am partial to Goa for some reason. That hey, I don't need to go to an office every day. I can work from a beach in Goa and just on my laptop. I would be very excited that I get to choose instead of one company and one boss telling me what to do for the rest of my life or 5, 10 years. I get to choose what project I want to work on, provided I have the necessary skill set and I'm good at my job. So I think that's what the changes that are coming in the very immediate future in the world around us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, when we talk about so many kind of changes that are happening, in fact, we have seen the changes like when people were talking about when computerization early 80s and people were fearing about the jobs and maybe they will not be able to acquire the skill set. But now today the world has completely changed. So how do you think like this change been it will be whether it is going to be a threat to manpower or working, or they will have to see this as an opportunity to acquire the new skills and to be with the pace with the world what is required?
I think it depends on Ramesh. My answer is very simple. So everything is a threat, opportunity. They are two sides of the same coin. Pros, cons, again, two sides of the same coin. So if you're well prepared, if you use the next 4 years of your life, right? The other first 4 years that you'll be doing a professional course, if you use them properly, if you equip yourself with the right skill set, then this is actually, and if you learn how to thrive in uncertainty, if you take it as okay, let there be disruption. Why? Because the people who are not equipped to deal with it, they are going to suffer. Me, on the other hand, I know not only how to survive but to thrive in this area of uncertainty, in this times of uncertainty. Then it's a big, big advantage. But अगर हम वही घिसे पिटी चीजें करते रहेंगे, right? हम नहीं बदलेंगे, then I'm sorry, your survival is going to be very, very tough because job security out of the window. You're not going to work on the same technology for the rest of your life. And let's face it, most of the things that you're going to do in the next 4 years, they're going to be outdated in 15, 20 years' time. So, how do you prepare yourself for this world? That is the question. And that, I believe, is the discussion for today's topic.
Yes, sir, you're very right. And I see this as a other way around also when we talk to the students and the kids. The change of mobile phones, how often we keep on changing because of the software updates and everything. So very clearly, it indicates us like you have to acquire the new things which is been asked or required. With this, sir, like I would like to now be very specific related to engineering graduates. What kind of a skill sets you see like they need to possess in order to be survive in corporate or say the core industries or anywhere wherever they are working? So very specifically, what kind of a skill set they need to acquire?
Okay, Ramesh, I'm going to answer this question a little bit differently. So instead of me giving you the answers and you taking whatever I'm saying as the gospel कि ये कह रहे हैं तो सच ही होएगा, नहीं, you don't have to take my word for it. So what I would rather want is you guys to think aloud with me. And let me give you an analogy. How do we want to go about? So let me just put your question in a nutshell. What is basically the 21st century skill set for an engineer? Right? That's what you're asking. So Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, in one of the conference calls, he was asked this question: that these days, Amazon has started delivering packages via drones. So do you, and plus you are putting a lot of money in the area, a lot of research in it on delivering packages via drones. So is this what you are betting the future of Amazon on? On the drone technology? Is this what you are betting the next 20 years of Amazon on? I think his answer that he gave is worth pondering on for this discussion. The answer he gave was, hey, I can't predict what's the new technology is going to be in 5 years from now. Forget about 20 years. Today it's drones, tomorrow it very well might be something else. Right? So how can I place the future of my company on something that is always going to be changing? So instead, I'm going to, focus on bet the future of my company on things that are not going to change. And he actually listed out on three things which are not going to change in the future. Then Ramesh, you can argue with his answer if you don't agree with me. I'll defend Bezos over here since he's not over here right now. He said, in the future, 20 years from now, drone exists, karta hai, nahi karta hai, we don't know. But these three things people are going to want. And if anyone disagrees with me, you can raise it on the chat. He said people are going to want cheaper products. Agreed? No one can argue. People are going to want faster deliveries. Nobody can argue. People are going to want more variety. So his future of Amazon is based on these three things. Apart from that, technology is just a tool to get these three things done. So rather than focus on what is going to change for a 21st century student, because we really can't predict the future. 20 years from now, sorry, I don't have a crystal ball. Show me a guy who predicted this world 2 years ago. So instead, let us think what is in this world which is going to be marred by disruption. And a lot of automation taking place. What are the skill sets that are not going to change and going to become even more popular and very much in demand? I'll list out a few for you. First one, critical thinking. Critical thinking is going to become very, very important because वो दिन गए कि textbook से रट्टा मार के you just vomit it out in the answer sheet. Sorry, no. There was a time when information used to be at a premium. So we used to teach the students 20 years ago, give them facts and this is information, you should know this. But right now when I have access to Google, why do I need to store facts? Why do I need to remember all those mathematics formulae and all that? After Ramesh, you must have done this. You are also an engineer like me. All those formulas we learned, what's the use? You can just Google them, right? In fact, if anything, we live in the age of misinformation. So the message I often give to students, or my definition of critical thinking is very simple. When I tell students, I don't want any student of NMIMS Shirpur to forward a WhatsApp message without giving it a thought. What could be the source? What does someone mean? Does anyone have anything to gain by this message? Is it the right information? This is critical thinking, right? So critical thinking is going to be at a premium. Problem solving abilities. This is a skill. Firstly, how to ask the right questions. In the age of problem solving, most of the part is done by asking the right questions. Because the right answer, most of the time it can be Googled. But do you actually know what to ask? So in most walks of life, narrowing down the problem, answering the right question, that's going to be a skill. Collaboration, that will be my point number 3, another skill. So we are talking about, again, I'm sorry, I don't know, I haven't been on a vacation on a long time, so I keep on going back to Goa. So you are running a startup, Ramesh. One of your employees is in Goa, one of your employees is in New York, another one is in Melbourne. Don't you think collaboration skills become even more important? Teamwork becomes even more important in today's day and age? Decision-making skills in times of uncertainty. That's another life skill that's going to be very important. And I can go on listing on and on. And you might say, sir, what about technical skills? Ramesh, technical skills are a given. Without technical skills, none of these count, right? But the thing is, if I can't really predict what the technology is going to be 15 years from now, then I need my student to be a self-learner. I want him to be a lifelong learner. How does one actually go about doing that? And one most important skill that I would like to present, otherwise we can go on and on, is communication skills. Guys, one thing I would like to tell you is that life is very unfair that way. The outside world is quite unfair. You might find that you might have very good technical skills, but in the end, credit goes to the guy who has made a brilliant presentation or written a wonderful report. So no matter how good your technical skills, your communication skills have to be really, really good. That's a given. So Ramesh, collaboration, critical thinking, decision making in terms of uncertainty, leadership, technical skills in the sense the ability to adapt yourself and thrive in uncertainty, and communication skills. These are a must, I feel, for today's engineer, without which you might be a class topper in 4 years of formal education, but you might find yourself going extinct in the next 10 years or something.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I guess you have given a complete different insight what generally people have a perception about engineering education. In fact, when I was also studying, trust me, even I have been doing lot of mug up, just ratify what we say. We have been ratifying the formulas and everything, and just as you said rightly, word vomiting out in the exam and scoring good marks, and that is done. But yes, when we reach to the final year, all these skill sets were binded to me in terms of communication. Like whatever projects or anything you have done, you have not able to communicate it in the right manner, then possibility I have, somewhere I'm losing out the race. Whether it's corporate or anything. So that's, you have given a wonderful insight about critical thinking, analytical thinking, and decision making skills, problem solving skills, and communication skills. That's a becomes a very critical nowadays, and that is must needed now. Now, when we see, we talk about all these kind of skill sets are required along with the academic, the technical skills. Now, what is the role and responsibility of an institution or say college or the university? What is your suggestion, or I can be very specific to you? How does NMIMS Shirpur prepares students in helping them in terms of preparing this kind of a skill set?
Hello, Ramesh.
Yeah.
I think I lost you there for a little while. Can you
Okay.
please?
I was. So I was talking about like what is the role and responsibility of institution or say the universities to develop this kind of skills in the students, and to be very specific, I would also like to have some insights about how does NMIMS Shirpur specifically develop all these kind of skills in the in our engineering students.
So Ramesh, yeah, so I think that's interesting. We have reached an interesting crossroad in the discussion. So if I were to just quickly summarize, so we started with why these skills are required in the first place, and the answer was the world is going to be marred by disruption. Forget about job security and all, the gig economy that is going to be the future. Then we discussed some specific skill sets, and both of us together we made fun of how we did engineering, right? The lot of mugging ups, writing of journals, and then vomiting it out. So good. And now I think you're coming to a very important question: what is the role of college over here? So I just want to counter question all our students who are attending this. Guys, what should be the role of students? Our role of college. Now you guys are facing, like I said, a very interesting and complicated decision: what college to choose. Every college, Ramesh, claims that they have excellent placements. Every college these days says we create industry-ready engineers. It's become a buzzword, right? We have excellent placements. We create industry-ready engineers. So it's a very difficult choice for the students actually. Jaye to kahan pe? Guys, but I have to question you this: do you think it's a college's job just to get you that first job? Just to get you that first interview after 4 years, after the college says we are done, हाथ खड़े करके हमारा तो यही काम था, we are done. Or is it a college's job to prepare you for that job interview that you'll be facing 10 years from now, 15 years from now, in a field that might not even exist right now, for a job profile that does not even exist right now? Is that a college job? Right? So I feel college has to prepare you not only for the job interview you'll be facing 4 years from now. That's the bare minimum. Please don't let your colleges get away so easily. That's the bare minimum that a college should do. But it's also a college's responsibility to prepare you for that job interview 10 years from now, 15 years from now, in an area you don't even know. How does a college do that? College does that by preparing its students for life. I think that's the first and foremost responsibility of an education system. Let's address the second point also: industry ready. ये term होता क्या है? Industry ready. So my thing to all you students would be, my question, right? For industry ready students, every college that claims we create industry ready engineers, please ask them, are your faculty industry ready? Because first and foremost, only when the faculty are industry ready can the students become industry ready. So, and feel free to ask me the same question. And my answer would be, since Ramesh, you asked me specifically about NMIMS Shirpur, we have over 50 faculty who have received training and certifications from industry. We make it a point that ask faculty go to industry. Every college sends students to industry. We send our faculty to industry. That's how our faculty get these certifications. Only if my faculty are industry ready are my students going to be industry ready. Plus all those points that I listed out, what is expected out of a student, it's expected out of an engineering college also. So if a college cannot adapt to the world that is marred by disruption, if a college cannot make changes that quickly, then neither can its students. It's not preparing its students. Just let me give you a specific example. Ramesh, until last year at NMIMS Shirpur, we used to offer BTech in mechanical engineering, right? A very popular program, an evergreen program. Hamare time ka. It's known as the evergreen engineering field. Always remains popular. BTech in mechanical engineering. Ramesh, but this year we went for a change. We have stopped BTech mechanical engineering, and what we have started is BTech mechanical and automation engineering. We felt automation is going to impact the world in such a big way in the future. It's going to have such a big impact on the jobs. Again, in the same spirit that I raised earlier, yes, threat to jobs, but also the opportunity for those who are trained properly. So we went, let us scrap, let us stop the previous course, let us hit the drawing board, let's consult industry and get the curriculum made. Let us get our faculty certified by Bosch. Let us have the proper infrastructure in place and everything. And then repackage the entire program and start with BTech. So I'm very glad to announce over here, from this year we are offering BTech mechanical and automation engineering. We could have taken the easier option. Easier option would have been, Ramesh, ki if you think automation is so important, chalo 2-3 subject add kar diye. But no, we did not take the easy option. We totally, changed the program. So that's what I mean. You have to adjust to the demands of the changing world. So firstly, yeah, so if industry ready, faculty have to be industry ready. And your programs, your curriculum, that has to meet the ever-changing demands of the outside world. But most important, this all leads to one thing, Ramesh, what I briefly hinted at. Main responsibility of a college, prepare its students for life, not just the first job interview.
Thank you, sir. Since that you have spoken about certain specializations, now let me put up a student's point of view. What students, or say those who are in grade 12 right now, they have a lot of confusion. In the sense, like even I have been interacting with a lot of students for last almost 10-15 years. So people have a misconception about certain branches, like the older branches, or say just now you spoke about the evergreen branches of mechanical, civil, or say electrical branches, and you are electrical masters in electrical engineering. So what happens, like nowadays people have this fascination about getting into. In fact, there was a student whom I, he said, like, no sir, I don't want to get into mechanical because a lot of hard work will be required, so I don't want to be. I want to go for computer engineering, because that will give me a job where I can sit in a AC cabin and sit in front of my MacBook or something, and I will just do some kind of a work over there. So that is a kind of a job profile I'm looking out for. So that's the reason I will not go for, say, other kind of engineering. Now, how do you think, or how you like, okay, core engineering is required or not required? Is it losing its value, or it is no more required, and have to go for the new age programs like, say, data science, or say artificial intelligence, cyber security? So I just require your insight or your view on this front also. What is your suggestion to the students for this particular?
So Ramesh, I would like to answer this again. I think analogies really help us understand. So I would like to answer this again with the help of analogy. So at least in abroad, what you have is, so all carpenters, they wear this tool belt. So they wear a belt, and there are slots for all different kind of tools. And in India, you generally carry a box, right? And of course, we can use the carpenter's box, carpenter's toolkit. The point is, a carpenter has so many different tools at his disposal. Now imagine if a carpenter had only one tool. Let's imagine he had only. I'm not very knowledgeable about carpenter's tools, so I'll pick the easiest one. Let us suppose he only has a hammer. So to a man who has a hammer, everything appears as a nail. So how successful do you think that carpenter would be, who only has? So analogy I'm trying to draw is, okay, let's take my own example. So I'm supposed to lead this institution, right? So obviously a bit of technical knowledge is necessary. My engineering background is necessary, and I need to have a PhD. I need to have a research profile. Otherwise, how will I be able to lead people in those areas? Plus, at the same time, since I'm supposed to run this organization, I'm supposed to have a pretty good knowledge of finance also. Plus, at the same time, I need to have leadership skills. So I need to have a good, reading on psychology also. Plus, I need to mentor the students. I need to have a little bit of understanding of philosophy of life. So, what do you expect from me, Ramesh? First, I'll do engineering, then I'll do a degree in finance, then I'll do a degree in philosophy. नहीं, ऐसे तो सारी जिंदगी डिग्री इकट्ठी करते रह जाए, right? So, the again, the larger point I'm making is I think this generalization versus specialization debate is overdone. And I really like what the approach we have taken in NMIMS and NMIMS Shirpur in particular, right? What we have done, we have the best of both worlds. So yes, if you have made up your mind you want to do AI/ML, you will have AI/ML at your disposal. You can do specialization. At the same time, every student of not only computer science but even an agriculture student has access, has the option to do AI/ML, right? You can do a minors in AI/ML. So if you are interested in mechanical and automation, please go ahead. But since you have heard a lot about AI/ML, yes, you can do a minors in AI/ML along with your degree. So that gives you the best of both worlds. Because generalized knowledge is very, very important as a base. Technologies keep on changing. At the same time, if today's industry demands something, have that too. So please don't go into overly generalized or overly specialized. I think what we are offering over here, minors, honors programs, minors which allow you to do specialization in data science, AI/ML, whatever. That's pretty different from yours. Honors, so if I already might be doing AI/ML, but now I want to do master level programs, I want something more, right? So you do honors, and that too, these programs are offered in collaboration with industry. I think this debate, if you ask me, generalized versus specialized, is a little bit overwhelmed. The world today demands global thinkers. If we say problem solver, you need so many tools. And college, I just, so what should college, I'll just extend on this answer a bit, Ramesh, if you don't mind. So generalized versus, instead of getting into this, some things are even more important, right? And how does, so like, what should your, guys, how do you envision your college life to be? You've already since beginning, you've started, just had classes, one lecture after another. I don't know, even in COVID times, how did it pan out? But normally 11th, 12th, a lot many tuition classes, एक class से दूसरे class, धक्के खा के पढ़ के, every teacher comes, thinks their subject is the most important subject in the world, and that's it. 10 to 5 घर से class, उसके बाद theory, practical, उसके बाद you are done. Is that what you envision your college life to be? No, not at all. If I were you, I would expect a lot more. So what should a college do? What should a college basically do? A college should basically provide you options. A college should actually provide you even options to fail. Because how else do you know your interest? So as a 16, 17-year-old, please, nobody is asking you to decide the next 40 years of your life how they are going to turn out. I can't decide the next 10 years of your life. Being almost 40 years old, how are you expected to decide? So go to a place which gives you options, so specializations. Coming back to that, if you want to try AI/ML, please try AI/ML. If you want to try data science, please try data science. If you want to try, saw someone write robotics, yes, please try robotics. It's a very important part of mechanical and automation. And just because you are doing AI/ML should not stop you from trying robotics. That's the point I want to make. So a college should basically give you options. And not only this, Ramesh, I mean, even in sports, I'm a big believer in that. Nothing, I said, prepare you for life. Nothing prepares you for life more than sports. Nothing teaches you to fail in life than sports. So I'm glad to say we have a volleyball court, badminton court, squash court, cricket ground, you football ground, you name it, we have it. We have taken a lot of care to have all these infrastructure because you learn a lot about life through sports. These are all important things. If you are interested in books, make sure the college you go to has a book club. Find out this from your college. Just don't ask the placement percentage and everyone will give you a good answer. If you are interested in music, please ask, wait, what are the options I'm doing? Just because you are doing AI/ML doesn't mean you don't get a chance to pursue your passion in music. It's very, very important. So, Ramesh, I think just sometimes we do a disservice the way we select a college. Placement कितने हुए, ये कैसा हुआ, कितना पैकेज था, हाँ ये वो तो हर कोई देता है. But this is your life we are talking about. You should be given all the options in the world to pursue your interest, not only pursue but to fail. Only that's how you move ahead in life. So Ramesh, it turned out to be a long answer, but I really wanted to make this point.
No, sir. It's a very relevant, and I guess you have given another perspective. Like how this has to be balanced and how why all these streams are required. With one, obviously, none of the countries can survive, none of the organization can survive. And with this, it reminds me one more area which has gained lot of popularity from early 90s, where we have seen, like, in fact, it is existing today also, where we see a lot of engineers after graduating in XYZ stream, say computers or say electronics or something, later on they move on to go for MBA management specialization. Obviously, that increases their job opportunities and maybe to reach at a high ladder in the corporate life. So, of course, that has been gaining a lot of popularity for last 3 decades. How do you see this engineering plus MBA combination?
Okay. Ramesh, I will answer this question. It's a question very close to my heart. I also, if I wouldn't have been interested in research, taken GRE and gone abroad, I would be also sitting in a corporate office somewhere. I would have opted for MBA. But I think Neha has written a question right now. I'm sorry, Ramesh, I want to answer her question first. But this is something very
Please, sir.
close to my heart. Neha has actually asked, how do you see a female performing a role of mechanical and automation engineering? Neha, get this out of your head. If anything, you are going to perform better than the boys out there. कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. In my time, it used to be, Ramesh must be remembering, it always used to be on civil engineering. Oh, how are girls going to do civil engineering? Those days are long gone. You are irrespective of the field, and I'm making a blanket statement over here, Neha. Irrespective of the field, and we're not only talking engineering. It does not matter what is the gender. If anything, I'm partial, you're probably going to end up doing better. So let this thought not stop you from pursuing whatever you want to do. Someone has asked, how do you want to? I'm sorry, Ramesh, I get distracted very quickly. So a lot many questions on robotics, vagera, so mechanical and automation. I would say just pursue that. We'll send you contact details. Get in touch with us. But yes, Ramesh, you want to talk to me about MBA, right? Ramesh, MBA now is all engineers, most of us, right? MBA is obvious career choice, right? I mean, the next step after BTech. And why is that? Because engineering actually provides you with a lot of analytical skills. It's not just about the topic at hand or the specialization at hand. If you do your engineering degree properly, if your curriculum is right, if your faculty train you the right way, right, you develop a lot of analytical skills which give you the ability to, pretty much. The engineers are everywhere, right? So and MBA, so it becomes obviously an obvious option for us. And of course, Ramesh, you know it as well as I do. When it comes to NMIMS, we are the pioneers in the field of offering integrated MBA tech programs, right? BTech and MBA combined. And guys, in the future, if these programs were relevant 10 years ago, in the future they are going to be all the more relevant because the gig economy that I told you about, where many of you with our skill set will be positioning on a website and people will be checking like the Amazon of jobs. Okay, this guy has this skill set, let me make an offer. And you'll be negotiating and all. So instead of working just for one company, you'll be working based on projects. So when you're doing something like this, firstly, you will have to become a brand on your own. And that's one point I would like to say. Use the 4 years of undergraduate education to become a brand. Develop your social media presence. It's very, very important. What do you stand for? What are your skill sets? Put it out there in the outside world. We highly encourage our students to write blogs. So in the end, after 4 years, you just don't have a piece of paper showing me, no, you've already put a body of work out there, right? But in a gig economy, every student, don't you think you need to have selling skills, irrespective of whatever you have done in the previous 4 years? Don't you think everyone will need a very good knowledge about finance? You're pretty much a product on your own. You'll need the finance skills, right? These all skills you get from an MBA degree. So if you have made up your mind, as many engineers do, कि मेरे को engineering के बाद MBA करना है, then I would say, why wait? One of the options then you should definitely consider is an integrated program. One of the big advantages of such program is that you'll actually end up saving a year. What will normally take 4 plus 2 years, you'll be able to do it in 5 years. And at least for the first decade of your professional life, that 1 year is going to matter a lot. I'm not going to say that when you are 49 and someone else is 50, it's going to matter. No. In the initial years, that difference of 1 year is really going to matter because you've gained an extra year. And speaking for Shirpur campus, we have the additional advantage. Ramesh, obviously Shirpur is very close to my heart. That you can do so all the things I've told about Shirpur campus. You can get your 3 years you spend in Shirpur campus and 2 years you complete your degree by going to NMIMS Mumbai. And I think NMIMS Mumbai needs, when it comes to management, it needs absolutely no introduction. So that way you get the best of both worlds and get an integrated degree in 5 years. Normally, what would have taken you 6 years. And MBA Tech we are offering in a variety of fields, including data science. Right. So please check it out. If you have made up your mind MBA is what you want to do, I think it's very worthwhile to consider this option.
Yes, sir, very much. In fact, just to add on whatever explanation you have given about MBA Tech, MBA Tech was the first program, in fact, in India, where NMIMS has come up with the integrated concept of BTech plus MBA in 2004, way back. And we were the first one in India to come up with this program. So that is becoming our flagship program as a university level. Since sir, you have spoken about Shirpur, like 3 years at Shirpur and 2 years, then the students will be moving to for MBA Tech specifically. They will be coming to Mumbai campus. But still, I would like to request you to if you can throw some light about Shirpur campus, because that's what even I have heard. I have visited once, but I have really liked this campus. Trust me, if I would have been student right now, I would have loved to stay there. It's a world class infrastructure what we can see, but I'm sure like you can give more insight, because I was there only for one day. So you can give more insight about what is this residential campus means and what are the advantages of this campus.
So Ramesh, yeah, so it's a residential campus firstly. So I would like to repeat. I'll repeat myself in one line. Guys, do you really want your 4 years of undergraduate education to be? Aren't you sick of attending classes from home, right? And we all are also really hoping, praying that the world it goes back to the old normal. At least a lot many things. Classes take place on campus, right? And hopefully it will be very soon. Once that happens, right, and I'm very confident it will happen soon. How do you envision your college life? We'll leave our home at 8, we'll go to college at 9, I'll attend 6, 7 lectures every day. 5 o'clock college ki chutti hoegi, 1 hour I'll spend with friends, 7 o'clock I will go home. If that is how you envision campus life, I'm sorry, Shirpur campus is not the right campus for you. We are different. We are a fully residential campus. Here, forget I've told about 10 to 5. And yes, one good thing I want to say is, so about 10 to 5, the classes and all, it's a beautiful campus, right? The first thing I want to tell you about is the Riverside campus. We have got a beautiful big river flowing right next to the campus. And when I say right next, I don't mean ki 100 meter dur hai, kuch nahi. We are actually on bank of a river. And Ramesh, many times when we say river, what we exaggerate ki bhai small stream ko hi jo summer mein pani nahi tha, river bol dala. Nahi. Please check it out. This is an actual river with a lot of water, free flowing water throughout the year. So first thing I want to tell you about NMIMS Shirpur is it's a riverside campus. So when we talk about hostels, that's what we are talking about. From classes point of view, I would say I feel a sense of pride sharing this, Ramesh. This is a campus where teachers, now every college, teachers, they discuss a lot of effort goes on how to teach. This is a campus which I'm proud to say teachers on their own accord at Shirpur campus every Saturday 4 p.m. they meet and they discuss on how to teach the students. Not only what to teach the students, everyone concentrates on what to teach. We concentrate on how to teach. Where is a very challenging right? So how best do we get across to them? Now let's talk about the residential part. If you visit us, you'll see a huge, when you enter the campus, okay, I'll talk about the campus a bit later, right? So do you want that scenario where you are just attending classes or going home? Or do you want a scenario where classes get over, you go around, say, go to your hostel, after that you come back, and then you decide, hey, do I want to see a movie today in the campus? Or my classmates are putting on a play in the amphitheater. Because you know that every month, regular intervals, either you'll be having Shakespeare, Mulshi Premchand, you'll be having everyone. So do you want to see a movie or do you want to see your classmates performing? Or you want to actually work on your projects because it's a residential campus and all faculty, most of the faculty, including me, stay on campus. So a lot of us will be coming to our research labs, right? And working on them at 7 in the evening along with students. If you want, you can be part of those research groups, because that is a differentiator, not just your 10 to 5. So I would say what happens in 5 to 10 in a residential campus at Shirpur campus is as important a differentiating factor as 10 to 5. Or maybe you want to join the director when he goes on his evening walk and discuss the latest books with him. Another thing of being in a residential campus. Or you want to be working with our mechanical students, right, who are always building a car or something, working on some interesting technical activity. You want to be a part of this technical clubs and working on something at 9 p.m. at night. Or if you are working on some competition, then instead of going home at 5 p.m., you are awake till 2 a.m. working in the engineering workshop, फैकल्टी के साथ. फैकल्टी आई नो यहाँ पे खुद लाके चलो बच्चों चाय पीते हैं वगैरह, थक गए हो गए. These are the advantages. रमेश, जो हम कहते हैं ना कॉलेज लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस करनी है, the memories, the best years of my life, this is it. So this is actually what is your life in a residential campus like Shirpur campus. So ठीक है, choice is that this or the 10 to 5. I leave it up to the audience.
Yes, and I have been a hostelite during my engineering days, so of course all these descriptions what you're giving, I was just I have taken a flashback my hostel days. So you have stayed in USA where you have completed your masters and PhD. Then you came back to India. You have stayed in Pune. That's again so-called metro city, and now you are moving all the way to Shirpur. So how do you see the difference, or how well you have adapted yourself US to Shirpur? That's what I can say. Your journey from US to Shirpur.
Yes, I think that's putting it in a nutshell. It's a journey from US to Shirpur. And let me be very honest about it, Ramesh. So whenever you're moving to a big city, and it can be New Delhi, it can be Pune, it can be a Bombay, or even abroad, let's say New York, right? You kind of know what to expect. So I've joined the Shirpur campus just recently in February as the director. And Shirpur is a small town. So whenever you are moving to a small town, you're a little bit apprehensive, kaisa hoga? So I was also apprehensive, because thanks to COVID, I did not get a chance to visit the campus before I took over the position. So I came with my wife, right, one fine Sunday evening. I think it was February 14th. And Ramesh, you said you visited once. दूर से ही एक bridge आता है, right? There's a bridge. Beautiful river. I'm used to, when seeing big towns, I'm used to seeing empty rivers summertime. Beautiful river with the cleanest water I've ever seen in my life. And then the driver pointed to me, sir, that is Shirpur campus. So my first was, अच्छा ये तो बिल्कुल river के साथ में. Then you step in the campus. The first thing you see is this astonishing row of trees, all lined up, huge trees, right? And that reminded me of there and then. So I'm an avid reader, and one of my favorite authors is Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond actually he had this statement. Some lines stick with you. So he made a statement that once you stay in the hills, you belong to the hills. The hills own you. He said once you stay in the hills own you. So my feeling when I saw that, when I took around, with my wife, walked for 15 minutes long that week, it was a Sunday evening. Once you see this, once you step in the Shirpur campus owns you. It is that beautiful. And then further the walk continued. I'm sorry I take some time, because it's like, it's a picture that's so vivid in front of me. Then when you see the lotus pond, and you see lotus, in full bloom, you see the sports infrastructure and everything. You fall in love with the campus. And it's such a self-sufficient campus. You don't really need to step out of the campus. At least I don't feel the need. So, example, I hope I'm looking decent, Ramesh. I just got a haircut last Sunday, right? And let me tell you, we have a beautiful saloon on campus. We have a grocery store on campus. We have 2 messes and a food court on campus. So, I mean, you name it and everything is there on campus. It's a self-sufficient campus. And if you are someone who likes to connect with nature, you can't actually choose a better place than this campus. It's just a lovely, lovely campus. But I'll tell you so if you like my description of the campus, I'll tell you something that makes it even better. The students. So I was fortunate enough. So there was a small window when COVID subsided, and we had a good number of students on campus. So I interacted with them. Ramesh, in a very short span, the drone club, it's such an active club, students all across branches, all across years, even first year students who had visited the campus for the first time during this time interval were actually flying drones till late in the evening. In fact, one of the advantages of this campus is it's a multidisciplinary campus. So you have got agriculture, you have got pharma, you have got engineering, all on the same campus. So one of the projects I would like to just say, the advantage of being in a multidisciplinary campus, they are working now on how to spray pesticides on a farm using these drones. That's the kind of projects that students are working on their own accord. Just this week, I think Saturday, I was interacting with students from our Saturday 10 a.m. club, where we expose the students to the best of the thinkers. And this is an activity, this is totally going to be handled by the students. You know, Ramesh, what they said? Sir, our first year students have not got a chance to see the campus yet. Many of them, some of them came, most of them did not. So, can't we do a session where we actually show them the entire campus? So, this is the campus where seniors actually want to give back to the juniors. In the 1 month time that they were over here, right? The seniors organized the tech fest for the juniors. Seniors organizing it for the juniors, the final year batch, because they came to me, sir, we want to give back to the juniors. So this is it. So I mean, physical infrastructure, everything world class, a self-sufficient campus, but the real life and soul of the campus are in students. I've never seen a working environment like. I can't think of a better learning atmosphere actually. And Ramesh, we have actually, they say seeing is believing. So we have actually prepared. It's about to prepare a 3D virtual tour because COVID times, most of the people can't come to us. But now it's reducing. Anytime you want to, if you're interested in the campus, it's an open offer to all the students over here. Please come visit the campus, and you're invited for a cup of coffee with me anytime you come. You and your parents also, right? But we are preparing a 3D virtual tour also, and if you would like access to that, please let us know. Please contact us. We will give you the details. And Ramesh, I think we have prepared a short video also, so they can actually see whatever I am saying. It's actually the truth.
Yeah, so that's what's like. Let me not keep all imagining whatever you have said. Let me show one video. I have Shirpur's video, so let me share that video. So. I guess that has given just a glimpse of the campus. When I'm sure, like if any candidate visit the campus, the worst thing what they will be getting is a wow factor. That's what even I have visited once, so that's my expression was there. Now, sir, the most important thing, if as an aspirant, if I am really looking forward to apply to Shirpur campus, what will be the selection procedure for to apply for these particular programs of BTech and MBA?
Okay. So Ramesh, it's actually pretty simple. There are two ways you can get into these programs, whatever we have listed out for the past 45 minutes. And Yeah, and I think it was a beautiful video. One thing I would like to point out, Ramesh, I don't know whether you realized it when you came over here. I'm sorry, I can't help it. You must have seen the lotus pond, right? So
Yes, very much.
there are a lot of fish also in that pond. It's just that the lotus leaves, they actually cover the fish. So a lot of fish also in that pond. Anyway, so coming back to your question, how does one get entry into NMIMS and NMIMS Shirpur campus? So there are two ways. One, our CE, NMIMS Common Entrance Test registrations are still on for a very short span. I think they close tomorrow, Ramesh. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And so, what does that do if you decide to go for that option? That gives you access to all the NMIMS campuses all across the country. I think Ramesh listed out 7 of them. Second option is if you have made up your mind and you're really interested in that, hey, I want to go for NMIMS Shirpur campus, then we also have the concept of campus or direct admissions. You can just contact the campus and we'll get back to you with more details on how you can get admission to NMIMS Shirpur campus. I would request my colleagues who are managing the chat and they are answering the questions since then. So a big round of applause for them also working hard. If they could please share the contact details of for direct campus admissions also, whom to contact. So if you contact us, we'll get back to you. So Ramesh, two ways in a nutshell. NMIMS CET, for which you better register fast. Registrations are closing quickly. Second, you can contact us directly if you are interested in Shirpur campus.
Great, sir. Great. I guess, sir, like it's almost touching now 55 minutes. What we trust me, it has been a wonderful interaction, getting a lot of insights about each and every area, whatever we have been discussing. So, with your permission, I would like to take up some questions which are there in the Q&A section. So, I will just go through. One question has come up, sir, like, does robotics have future?
I mean, my answer is, how can robotics not have a future? I mean, any industry that you see, guys, the level of automation that is happening, it's a given. So let me just answer that. So if, depending on the study that one takes, sometimes it is 50% of the jobs will get affected, 70% will get affected, 80% will get affected. The number does not matter actually. It depends on the study you refer. The bottom line is that robotics is really, really going to have a big impact. That's why those skill set that I said become all the more necessary, because if your job can be automated, if it can be put down in logic, chances are an algorithm can do it better than you. In fact, we think robotics has so much potential. That is why, like we changed the entire character of a mechanical program. We changed it to mechanical and automation. So if you are interested in that, please get in touch with us. We'll provide you more details about the mechanical and automation program. What are the courses related to robotics in that, plus all the infrastructure that we have for robotics. I think if you are interested in that, please go for it. It's an excellent choice.
So there's one question which has come up, like I guess at Shirpur campus we are offering BTech in computer engineering as well as BTech in computer science. So a student, if he wants to know what is the difference between science and computer engineering.
I think yes. So I can give an answer to that question, but we have the technical expertise also to answer that question for you. And Dr. Mehta, Associate Dean of let me introduce Dr. Mehta to you. Not many nice things that I've said about NMIMS engineering. The credit goes to him and his team, Dr. Mehta. So, Dr. Mehta, in fact, I would like to take this opportunity if you can not only explain the differences between these two programs, but begin your answer by outlining all the BTech programs and MBA Tech programs that are available for a student at NMIMS Shirpur campus. I think that would really help them.
So, am I audible?
Ramesh? Very much so, sir. Very much.
So, good evening to everyone. The NMIMS Shirpur campus offers a BTech program of 4 years, where we have computer science and we have computer engineering and we have information technology and we have artificial intelligence and machine learning, and we also have mechanical and automation engineering. So we have 5 choices to opt in BTech program at Shirpur campus. Along with that, we have a MBA Tech program, and MBA Tech is in the branch of computer engineering, and we also have information technology, and we also have a data sciences. So these are 3 options available at Shirpur campus. And I have seen that question raised by some student in the chat box, a difference between computer science and computer engineering, though I have replied on the chat box itself. So basically the study of computer science is confined to development of computer components. Like their effort and their whole study is to how to upgrade and how to optimize the computer components, which includes software, which includes hardware, operating system, compiler development, like that, architectural part. So the whole study is for improving the performance of computer. If you talk about computer engineering, it is more towards multidisciplinary approach. So we have a part of sensor network, we have a part of IoT. So the entire system we are developing, so it goes beyond the periphery of computer system. So that's what the computer engineering is, where you can see the multidisciplinary study. So that's what the basic difference of these two branches are. Hope I answered the question.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
Doctor.
Thank you, sir. So there is another question which has come up. Is there a scholarship provided? So, with your permission, sir, can I answer this question?
Please be my guest.
So as far as scholarship is there, yes, we do. NMIMS do provide scholarship for their engineering programs, both BTech and MBTech, offered at all the campuses. The eligibility will be you will have to. We have a top 100 merit ranker in NMIMS CET, and out of this 100 ranker, the top 25 will be eligible to get a scholarship. And of course, that scholarship next 4 or 5 years, depending on the performance in your subsequent year or first year, second year. That so the scholarship is available. You can, as I said, like the top performing guy will be getting this scholarship. Yeah, my team is up in the chat box and they will publish. You will have to apply. You'll have to visit nmimscet.in. That is a website from where you can apply. And tomorrow is the last, that is 17th June, midnight 11:59. The applications will be closing down, so you can apply immediately over there. Don't wait for the last moment, like tomorrow after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. I'm sure the website there will be a lot of trial will be coming up. So chances of maybe possibility at your end it might be a little bit troublesome. So I advise you can start applying today itself. Yeah. So that is another question which was there, and
Ramesh, there's a question by Harshal that 12th standard right now, can I approach NMIMS Shirpur? Yes, you can definitely approach us, and we'll be sharing our contact details with you in the chat for direct campus admission. So I would request my colleagues, please put that information in the public chat. Rather, how can the students get in touch with us in case they are interested specifically in NMIMS Shirpur? Right?
in fact, sir, we have already published the mobile number and email ID. So once again, I guess our team can copy.
And
They can
we are getting this question again from Shruti this time. What is the does robotics engineering have a future? I think Shruti, we have covered that question. The blanket answer, yes, it most definitely has a future, and not only does it have a future, it has a very very bright future. And please get in touch with us. The phone numbers have been shared with you. I'll have the head of mechanical and automation engineering personally have a chat with you, not only to tell you it has a future, but also answer any other questions that you have. And in fact, I'll request him to act as a mentor for you as you make this important choice in your career. So please reach out to us. We'll get back to you.
So there is one question. Again, it is how the student should make a choice. One is like, should they give a preference to the branch what they are planning to pursue, or should they give a preference to the college, say the campus?
Okay.
What
So,
should be the ideal?
guys, firstly, the easiest answer, what our elders give us when you ask questions like this: follow your passion, right? जो अच्छा लगता है करो. But in some ways, I don't think that is the right answer, because for a 16, 17-year-old, you have not actually explored that much in life. That you are in a decision to decide, you make a very important decision in your life. मुझे यही अच्छा लगता है. अभी वो exposure ही नहीं हुआ. So how can you just decide, okay, this is my passion? And even passions actually change. It's happened with me. I went from ENTC to remote sensing and space physics to finance, all in a span of 10 years. God knows what I'll be doing 5 years or 10 years later from now. So what I would say is, please talk to people, qualified people who give you all the options. Don't close you any options right now. Someone has asked about, in the same spirit, I take another answer: BSc or BTech. My answer would always be a BTech. Of course, I'm biased. Ramessh is also biased. Both of us are engineers. But the main advantage of an engineering degree is it keeps a lot of options open for you. right? With a 4-year degree course, you can actually have a lot, even higher studies and all that, they require that abroad. So engineering keeps a lot many options open for you at this young age. Please don't close any doors for you. आगे जाके आपको मालूम नहीं आपको किस चीज में इंटरेस्ट आने वाला है. And both the things are very important in a nutshell. Both the program also, college also. Again, I would say the phone numbers have been shared with you. Reach out to us. So it's very easy to give a general answer. Follow your passion. I think we would actually talk to you one by one and counsel you based on your interest. I would love to talk with you even right now, but this is more of a one-way conversation. Let us talk on phone, right? And let us find out what interests you, what subjects interested you, and not many decisions in life, guys, are taken with what doesn't interest you. Right? Sometimes we feel very strongly, अच्छा क्या नहीं लगता है, अच्छा ये नहीं अच्छा लगता है, ये नहीं अच्छा लगता है, ये नहीं अच्छा लगता है, ये थोड़ा अच्छा लगता है, तो try करके देखते हैं. That's called a process of elimination, and again, that's a very important and useful decision-making framework. So I would say reach out to us in the phone numbers. Let's have an individual discussion, and we'll see how it goes. Right? We would love to guide you, no matter which college. So this is an open invitation to all you guys. No matter which college you are interested in, we have shared our phone numbers with you. Talk to us. My faculty will try their best to counsel you, irrespective of which college you are interested in. I hope you will take me up on this offer.
So two more questions I will take up. One is for this one, how to reach NMIMS Shirpur campus. If somebody or say somebody staying in Lucknow, not nearby, so how they should be reaching that.
Okay, so the answer is actually again, in my case, I came from Pune. My family, my parents are in Pune. We drove down. It takes around 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours from Pune. Right? You start early in the morning, 6.5 you are there. We are very well connected even by all the airports. So in Nasik airport is very close. Indore is very close. Indore airport is very close, and again by road highly accessible via Bombay. Also, a lot many of our students come that way. So it depends. I mean, can't really tell you the flight schedule from Lucknow, but we are connected pretty much to all the major airports. A railway station is very close by. It should not be a problem. So let me put it this way: we are not Delhi, Hyderabad, or a metro city, but we are not somewhere that is very isolated also. So in the same way, we are actually the best of both worlds. So if you want to go to a place which has zero pollution, which has a lotus lake, which has the best of facilities, a riverside campus, birds I have never even seen in my life. Because they are river birds also, water birds also, other birds also. If you want to envision spending 4 years in such an environment, working with your friends, learning together at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, aaja. You are not going to get a better opportunity than NMIMS Shirpur. You have my word for it. And if nothing else, aaj saath mein coffee piyenge. So that would be my answer to that one, because it depends on connected via airport, but it's not as easy as say Bombay jahan pe airport. So you have Indore is very close by. Check out Nasik. Nasik is very close by, and Bombay se it's a car ride away. It should be very much and very closely connected to Gujarat also. Maybe Ramesh, you know the cities better than me, but we are right on the border of very close to Gujarat border also. So that's another option you have. So multitude of options available.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I guess we are very well connected. It's just off Mumbai-Agra highway, so it's very well connected. So one last question I will take up, and that is a very famous and very obvious question from every students and perspective, is the placements. So how the placements take place at NMIMS Shirpur?
Guys, placements are excellent. Placement, I would say, visit our website, and plus, please call us. We'll be sharing we could then that way share our brochure with you. In fact, right now I can just give you a general answer. Placements are excellent. Please call us. We'll give you the figures for all the courses that you need, maximum, minimum, average, medium. Ask us for list of companies that visited last year, year before that. Entire information we'll be very, very happy to share with you, because we are so confident about our placements. But guys, one thing, आगे का भी सोचो. खाली not only the first job, like I said, not only 4 years from now, that's the bare minimum. I take that as a responsibility. That's the bare minimum to prepare you for that first job. We are also going to do our best to prepare you for that job interview 10 years from now, 15 years from now, in a field that we can't even imagine it. Many of you are going to be, 3D. We have excellent 3D printing facilities. I won't be surprised if many of you are organ harvesters वगैरह. Someone का ear lose हो गया, you are actually growing a ear. Up just Google it. That's a very high probable career, lucrative career by the year 2030. So I'm not even saying 20 years in the future. Many of you are going to be organ harvesters and all. Ramesh, let's take this one more question. BCA Saloni is asking this. BCA or BTech? Saloni, the answer is very simple. I know Ramesh will agree with me. Whenever choices are like this, please go for engineering because engineering opens a lot many doors for you. Engineering keeps all your options open. You want to do that. At the age of 16, 17, you don't want to be doing something और उसके बाद have some regret. अच्छा मेरे को ये करना चाहिए था तो मेरे पास ये ऑप्शन खुला रहा. With engineering, you will never have that problem कि मैंने ये किया होता तो अच्छा रहा. Engineering is a very, very versatile degree. The analytical skills you learn from this degree and all that. I mean, no matter what, see my career, for example. I went from engineering to remote sensing and space physics. I looked at meteors for 6 years in Peru and Puerto Rico. After that, while doing my PhD, I got interested in finance. Completed all 3 CFA levels. Not to brag, but it's supposed to be the toughest finance course there. And I would say my engineering degree actually really helped me. So my option would always be, so someone asks BSc versus BTech, someone is saying BCA versus BTech, hands down, engineering, no other. Right? I hope I answered your question, Saloni.
Yes, sir. So on a lighter note, I would like to add, Baba Ranchhod Das bano, na ki Chatur bano, of Three Idiots. That is the way I can conclude this session. And thank you so much, sir. I guess we have answered all questions, and my team member Rajesh Mascarenas and Dr. Kamal Mehta, he has been answering all the queries. So majority of the queries were coming up, which was really not, we can say like it was a little bit repetitive, like the same concern questions were there, which we have already covered in the session. So with this, I would like to have a concluding remark from my side.
Ramesh, I would just like to just take 1 minute because
Please.
I hadn't planned for this, but I'm very, very impressed by the kind of questions the students are asking. And Ramesh, I hope you will agree. I didn't know you back then, but when we were choosing engineering colleges, ये सारी चीजें हमारे दिमाग में भी नहीं आई थी. The kind of questions they are asking, the choices that they have in front of us, and of course, when you have choices, you will struggle. So I'm really very impressed with the kind of audience we have had for this session, and I feel like I need to tell them, guys, please, the next 4 years are very, very important. If there is one thing that I wanted to take from this discussion is the future is going to be very different, and nobody can predict it exactly, but it's going to be very different from what it is right now. So the next 4 years, if you equip yourself properly, you're going to thrive in that future or in that uncertain environment, because most people, they are not going to be able to make it. So if you choose your college wisely, right, and I consider us NMIMS and NMIMS Shirpur as one of those universities and institutes and colleges, right? If you choose your college wisely, no matter which college you go to, please, it's a very, very important decision. Please go to a college that keeps you options open, that gives you all multitude of options. Please go to a place that allows you, to fail. Please gives you a place that gives you the opportunity to interact with people from all over the country, to work with your friends on projects at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. Please choose a place where you have access to your faculty at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. Use these 4 years to become a brand. In the world of tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, in the gig economy, that's going to be the future. And again, I'm talking very general. You are obviously free to choose whatever college you want to choose. Become a brand. Develop your own personal brand in the next 4 years. खाली lecture attend करने से exam देने से नहीं चलने वाला, right? So I wanted to just leave them with this message, Ramesh, and wish them all the best for the future. And no matter which college they choose, I hope they do very, very well. Of course, I'm biased. I hope they come to NMIMS Shirpur and do reach out to us on that phone numbers and take me up on that offer of coffee. But God bless them. Stay safe. And judging by your questions, I'm very certain you're going to do very, very well in life. So that's it from my side, Ramesh. Thank you. So if you would like to wrap up.
Thank you so much, sir. And very truly, you have in all the insights, and thank you for wonderful guidance to our aspirants. And I'm sure, like, inspired and aspiring NMIMS Shirpur. With you having such a dynamic, very young and energetic campus director, I'm sure they would love to come to NMIMS Shirpur now. Yeah.
Thank
So with
you.
this, I would like to sign off for the session, for today's evening session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rajesh, and thank you, Dr. Kamal Mehta, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you all of you. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Thank you.